Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with a really quick video. I just wanted to use some of these lovely papers. These are from My Porch Prints. I believe it's the Rose Garden, oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it's Rose Garden something. And so I thought we'd just make up these, I think that people call them Matchbox, kind of a little notebook type of thing. I've done them before, but I wanted to do them a little bit bigger. So this is the size I've done before, which only measures just under about 4 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. So the dimensions of the paper, the dimensions are going to be 5 1/4 by 10 1/2, and we're going to score it at 2 inches for the fold down. So this portion is going to be 2 inches. And then we're going to do some scoring to create a little bit of room for a little bit of a paper notebook inside using some coffee dyed paper. So, and I just got this out. I did a bunch of these just off camera, just to have some of this kind of textured paper to kind of accentuate different embellishing that I'm doing. So I did these little medallion ones, and then this pink paper. I've got some music here, and then we've got, this is an offcut from an experiment, and this is that rose paper again. I thought is really lovely. And then more medallions. These ones didn't cut out because this is watercolor paper, so it's pretty thick. And some dots, some leaves, some more of those roses, and oh, a little heart. Tag along. Get rid of that. And then yeah, the more roses. So I just thought I'd show you that since I've got them out, and I've got them handy here in case I want to use them to embellish. So yeah, so let's get going. I'm a little bit scattered. What's new? What's new? So I'm going to get my cutter out, and I'm trying out my glass mat again. My clear mat that I've been having on my table is so grungy now. I can't get it clean anymore just because I do so much mixed media on it. So I thought I would give this a try. It sits over there, not being used, and I'm like, that is just not very responsible. So we're going to try to use it. So the first measurement is going to be, we want to cut the papers down to 10 inches. So, I mean, you could obviously leave it the full length, the length of a piece of digital paper. I believe it's an 8 1/2 by, it's not, with the borders, it never ends up being 8 1/2 by 11 or whatever the measurement's supposed to be. But that's the 10 inches that we need. And then we want to cut the other at 5 1/4. So, before I was trying to kind of stagger these lines so that I didn't waste so much paper, but I don't really want to do that because it feels wasteful. That seems a little bit, no, that's about the same. So we're just going to go for it and use what we've got. There we go. And so we're just going to do one at a time, and I'll probably fast forward through some of the other ones. I'm going to try to do 3 today. So once you have this, then you want to score the top of this at 2 inches approximately. Of course, you could make your little flap down be whatever size you want it to be. And some of the other ones we're going to do are going to be able to open this way. This one's going to be one that opens down. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be more like this rather than opening like this. So that's kind of the plan. Knock off my gibberishness. So I'm going to go ahead and score this at 2 inches at the top. I'm just kind of saying that that's the top. I don't know if it really is, but that's all right. So I'm just going to score that. And then we're going to go ahead and fold that over. Give that a good crease. I just thought it would be nice to have some of these for the Sweet Rose Journal if I decide to use them for that. The other thing I want to do, so on my prototype I didn't do this, and I think I want to create a little bit of an opportunity for some bulk up at the top as well as the bottom. The paper pad is going to go down here. So I thought we would do that little trick where you do multiple lines to kind of create the ability for your paper to kind of round and bow, and that way it's more flexible. So I think we're going to go ahead and give that a try. So I'm going to score at 1/8 of an inch past the one I was at. I'm not a professional scorer. I don't like the scoreboard per se, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to do, I think, like 5 of these. Hopefully I know what I'm doing. I'm not sure. The jury's still out. I'm going to go one more, and I'll count them for you just in case you're curious what we ended up with, since I'm waffling all over the place. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in addition to the original score line. So I'm just going to kind of bend these if I can. So sorry, that was off camera. I'm just going to use my fingers to just kind of crease that. I don't need to make it have a, it doesn't have to have a really solid. I've seen people do that. This, I've never actually done it myself, so live and learn, right? Come on, Cara-Renee. So basically the effect you want is for this to be able to move freely and round and be flexible. So did we get them all? I think we might have gotten them all. Just making sure here. Not too hard. Not as hard as I make it sometimes. So that looks to be all of our little, oh, we got one more hidden score line in there. What's going on there, baby? Let's find you. Let's find you. Bring you into the group here. I got that one. Having trouble with. There we go. There she is. This is also thicker paper than some people use. This is 65-pound paper, so it is a little bit thicker and harder to manipulate, especially in little spaces like that, little increments. So there we go. So we will ink all that and make it look really pretty as well. So, and mine is obviously coffee dyed on the inside. I always do that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold up the bottom, and you can decide how far. I kind of like to do something like about that. So let's see where that is from our lowest score line. So that is about 1 inch. That looks about good. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm just going to fold it. I'm not going to score it. I'm just going to do that and then give it a good, good crease like so. And then we need to do another one because we want the bottom to have a little bit of bulk too. I think on my prototype I did a 1/4 of an inch, and I think it was too much. So I'm going to go just 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, I probably should just go ahead and score this just to make sure I've got a good solid line there. So bear with me. So that is our original score line for our fold, and then I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch to the right of that, like so. And what that's going to allow is just a little bit of room for that paper to go in. So I'm going to move my scoreboard, and I'm going to get my ink out here. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm cranking out some videos because we're going to be gone again this coming weekend, the weekend of the 20th of August. So I'm trying to get some content out, as I will not be creating and won't be home. And it's kind of the last hurrah before the school year starts. My brother-in-law, my husband's brother, lives in at a coastal town in a neighboring state here, and we traditionally go there towards the end of the summer, and not all my kids, but the local kids and grandkids go, and we just kind of spend the weekend. We camp out, and the kids camp out in the backyard. I don't. But it's always a good time, so we're doing that, just kind of wrap up the summer. So you can see I don't have much of a crease there. Can you guys see that? Probably not until I show you, right? Goodness gracious, we got to crease it first, Cara-Renee. Sometimes I surprise myself. There we go. I'll show you here in a second. So these are great to do with scrap sets. The last ones I did, the last batch I did a while ago, was with scraps. So it's a great crash or trash kind of project. So I'm going to crease these as well, just because I like the look of that. I like that brown line, so I'm going on either side of that. And then we're going to go each one. That will help us to make sure that we've got them well creased as well. So I'm just going to do that. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing okay. I don't know if y'all have, you know, school-age children, if you guys are ready for the new school year. Hopefully it's going to be one that's very different than the last few that we've had, because we were still wearing masks up until I believe March of last year in the school year. And looks like we're starting out without masks, which is awesome. These are not exactly straight, but I don't mind. And of course you don't have to do this inking. It makes it really obvious what's there, but I just personally like the look. So again, do what you like. As well as the inking, you wouldn't have to ink like I'm inking. I have not decided on a closure yet, so we will decide that together. So let's go ahead and ink the inside as well. Okay friends, I'm going to grab some coffee dyed paper here really quick. I'll be right back. So today I'm pulling from my 20-pound weight copy paper. I like to do it on, oh, I've got some heavier paper in there. I need to get more of the lightweight. This is the 65 pounds, so it's really heavy and not really suitable for this. Let me grab a little bit more of that lightweight stuff. I'm going to use quite a bit because we're going to make several books here. There we go. So let's see what we have here. So the way it's going to work is the signature is going to go in here on the bottom. No, wait a minute. Did we want to do it in the bottom? Yes, because I want a pocket here. So we're going to do our little paper pad down here. What I like to do is take my papers, fold them in half, cut them to this length, and then I'm going to use my long arm stapler to staple them in. So let me grab some pages here. Since these are all going to be the same size, I'm just going to grab a handful here and just start cutting them. So probably want it to be about, just going to go in a little bit. So probably 5 inches by 3.5. So 5 by 3.5. I'm going to make a note here because my memory's bad. 5 by 3.5. Okay. So I'm going to get my cutter over here. So that means I actually want them to be, sorry, 3.5. I want them to be 5 by 7 because then I can fold them in half. So I'm going to cut these down to 7 inches. Hopefully it's going to cut through all these pages at once. I'm feeling a little bit lazy. We'll see. There we go. Perfect. And then, so that was what? Goodness gracious. That was 7 inches. So that's my, and then 5 was the width. So they can be 5. So, I'm going to fold this because I want to make sure I don't do it wrong. So this is the long way, so it's going to fold that way. Goodness gracious. Sometimes my brain just does not kick in. So I'm going to do 5 inches there. The other one will be clearer, I promise. We'll talk through one more because I'm kind of floundering a little bit here. These are great for little notebooks or for stamping on or whatever. So let's go ahead and put that aside, and I want to see how much. This is actually the perfect amount of paper for this. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, so that makes 12. So we're going to fold it in half, and I don't care if it's even at all. So I'm just going to fold that and give it a good crease. I'm just going to use my score thing here, like that. And to the center here. So then let's just make sure it's going to fit. I think this actually looks too, yeah, it's too, what did I do? I did something wrong. So we need to cut these off again. So, and now that I've already got this already folded, I'm going to have to cut in 2 sections. So that is okay. It happens. So I'm just going to make a line here. And then I'm going to turn it over and make a line on the other side because, again, I'm going to have to cut in pieces here. So I think. I wonder if it'll cut through all this. Let's just try it. I doubt it, but it's worth a try. So let's just make sure. Boy, goodness. So confusing. So confusing, Cara-Renee. Okay, there we go. Let's just do it. They don't have to be even. They can be scrappy. That's part of the beauty. So let's see how far we get with that. Oh, pretty good. So this is a kind of a shortcut, isn't it? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that again. I don't know what's wrong with my measurements. Oh, I've told you, I know what's wrong with my measurements. I don't measure, so when I have to, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. There we go. Get that out of the way. So again, this is going to go in here like this. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to grab some paper clips so this all stays nice and tight so that we can staple it in. It's not usually a very perfect stapling job because, well, it's just not. It's just is what it is. For some reason, the staple never goes in quite the way that I like it, and so sometimes I'll cover it up a little bit with something just in case it doesn't look good. But that is just fine. So I'm going to grab the long arm stapler. I apologize, I did not think that through. Thankfully, everything can be found in my studio. So I gotta make some room here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in here, and I like the little openings of the staple to go on the inside, which means I'm gonna have to turn this over, and I actually need to staple it to the I need to paper clip it to the base here as well. Just trying to make sure it's sort of even-ish. So let's do that again. Could have done this way to begin with. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shift some things around here. It's all right. Sorry, I'm off camera, guys. There we go. So perfect. So again, because we are going in, I want the openings of the staple to go on the inside. I'm going to do this, turn it over, and this is where it gets kind of fussy because the staple never lines up for me. So I'm going to kind of crunch down here and see if I can control that a little bit better than I have in the past. So staple, yeah, could be better, could be worse. It's not a problem. Come on, get rid of that. Paper clips. There's this thing on this side, and I don't know what it's for. I don't know what this plastic thing is for. What is it for? I don't know if it oh, it moves. There we go. New discoveries every day. There we go. So we're going to do one in the middle-ish. I'm not measuring. I don't like to measure. There we go. And then another one on this end. Perfect. Not bad at all. And again, I'm not interested in perfection, so as long as it's covered, I am good. So see what we've created, even though my staple is they're kind of a little bit on this edge of that fold. It's secure. I'll probably put some lace on there or something to disguise that, but that is our little booklet. Isn't that awesome? Lots of writing pages, which I think is lovely in a journal, because a person could take this out and put it on their bedside table, or take it to the living room, or take it in their purse or whatever, put it back in their journal. I mean, it's totally doable. So let's see if we've got some paper left from this. We should have a scrap to make a pocket. What did I do with the scraps? Huh. That's odd. Hold on. Is it this one? It's not this one. Pardon me, guys. I lost my mind. We should have a scrap from that. There it is. There it is. So we're going to put a pocket here, which this is just perfect for that pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in place. And I'm going to just mark it with my pencil because, you know, the whole measuring thing. And I'm going to grab my cutter here. Oh, where'd my line go? There it is. There it is. I wonder if we can get two. Nope, we can't get two out of it. That's all right. So this pocket's going to go here. I like the size of that. Actually, I think I want it to trim it down just a little bit more so that things are easy to get out of the pocket. I'm not going to make any ephemera to go in it just because I have to print some other papers to do that. And I just really wanted to show you the construction more than anything. In the close-up videos, close-up photos at the end, I'll show you what it looks like when everything is when the pockets are filled. There we go. I'm going to ink this up really quick. There we go. So let's go ahead and get our glue. This is that glue I've been using that is similar to Barely Arts, and I'm loving it. Loving it a lot. So I'm going to glue on the three sides. I like to hold my thumb where on the side that I do not want to glue. That just helps my head think clearly. There we go. And I'm going to come up from the bottom a little bit. I don't want to crowd that fold. So I'm just coming up about like that. Give it a good press. And then we do need to think about a closure here. So didn't think about that. We could actually do our little circle tab or something just like we've done before and just do that. I like how that thing is going. So there's room for a lot of bulk here. In other words, I can stuff this pocket. I should have put the little wings on it so I could really fill it up. In fact, I might do that. I might take this off, guys, and do another piece and put those little edges on so that I can puff that pocket up. So pardon me for that. I will do that off camera. I won't belabor that with you. But our closure, we could just do one of those circles that I like to use where I just or cut a circle, or with this other punch. Let me grab the punch so that you guys know what I'm talking about. I really like this one for this purpose, so I'm going to go ahead and use it right there. And now that I've used that bigger scrap, I'll have to cut another one of these pages to finish this piece off. But we'll do one more on camera. I'm not going to do two more. You'll see 3 pictures pictured in total at the end of the video. So basically what you do here is then you glue this on right here, and then this just slides under it. It's really a nifty, very fast way to make a closure. So I'm going to measure this because I do want to get it in the middle, which that's not really working well. Let me grab my other ruler here. I think I've got one that has that 0 mark. Do I? Do I or do I not? Do I or do I not? Yes, I do. So the cool thing about this one is you can put it on here and you can go 0. Well, I guess you have to know the... oh, I see now. I see now. I see. So that is middle because my markings here and here are the same on this side of the 3. If that makes any sense. So then I know my center is right here at the 0. So that's awesome. So now I can go ahead and put some glue on this. And so you're only going to glue half of this. Oh, let's see. Goodness gracious. So we're going to glue the lower half. The only thing you want to watch out for is that you don't tuck that in while this is drying, because you can get into a problem. So now I want to make sure that I just, that I don't go over that. So middle of this, middle of that. So there's my pencil mark. I'm just going to go like right here. And just like that. And then I'm going to pull that out so that it doesn't stick. There we go. So that is a nice little closure, and I will do the decorating and everything on these little things off camera. I might do one on camera since the next one will be a smoother process. Hopefully you'll stick with me while I do that, but this just slides in here. Perfect. Perfect. And it's just nice and easily, securely fastened. So let's do the second one here. If you can bear with me a little bit longer, hopefully. So I want to do one that goes the other direction. So I've got another wood grain one. This is again from My Porch Prints, and I love this. I love the grays and pinks in this. So our measurements are going to be the same. So we're going to cut this down to 10 inches. And let's see, 10 inches. And what did I say? Then I said 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. Hold on, let me think about this. So yeah, it doesn't matter. The dimensions are the same whether you turn it vertical or horizontal. I already was in that thought process before. Oh, I kind of wish I left that knot in. Oh well, there we go. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab my scoreboard again. And again, we're going to score at 2 inches. You can decide which, I think I kind of want this to be my front. Well, no, wait a minute. Yeah, I want this to be the front, so I'm going to turn this over so I can score it on this side. So I'm going to score it at 2. Sorry, that's off camera, guys. There we go. There we go. And then trying to think if we really need to do all that scoring that we were doing before. I think I do, but I'm not going to do as many score lines, so because I don't think it's needed. So I'm going to go 2 more on this side of it. Probably doing this wrong, you know, hills and valleys and all that I never understood. People talk about that and I'm like, hills and valleys, I get so lost. I'm directionally impaired. There we go. So we'll go 2 on this side as well. I believe that it helps with the cracking of the paper is the main reason why people do that. If you know different, I would love to hear your opinion on that. So that should be fine. I didn't go, it doesn't look exactly like I did it on the same on both sides, but that's all right. So I'm going to just go through these and crease them again, just like we did before. Just kind of get in there and just fold that. Come on, fold it. Fold it. fiddly, so fiddly. Come on, Cara-Renee. It's not rocket science. It is thick paper though, so that's why I'm really struggling, because it's not very, the smaller the space that you're trying to fold, the harder it is to do. And I'm not going to ink that one up. I'm just going to let that naturally kind of do its thing, rather than be too concerned about that being precise. I might just go over it generally with some ink like this. Oh, let's see, like this, just so that top is highlighted as being a part of that curvature. So that is much easier than the last one. Perfect. So there we have that. So then we're going to fold this one in, and I'm wondering if we can do this a little bit differently this time, because we can still do a pocket. We would just do a pocket this way. So yeah, so let's do it about the same. I'm going to go a little bit, I'm not going to go quite as far down, I don't think. I've got a little bit more than an inch. I mean, a little bit, excuse me, a little bit less than, oh my goodness gracious. We did an inch before. Let's do an inch now. Which way are we going, Cara-Renee? Do you know? I'm going the opposite way. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do that. So again, this is completely customizable to you. And I'm not just saying that because I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I mean, I do, but I'm not worried about it because there's really no way to wreck this, in my opinion. There is no way to wreck this. So we've got one, we've got another, we've got a score line there. And then we are going to use the scoreboard to make our other mark because it's a little bit tricky to do. So I'm just going to put this in here so that I can get that 1/8 of an inch score line. We do want it on this side because we're going to have some bulk from the notebook. We want that to be very evident. So there we go. So we've got that one. Oh my goodness, Cara-Renee. And that one. There we go. So again, we've got a little bit of room for growth there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over and ink that a little bit. It's not going to show as much as it did on the other paper because there's some dark bits to this. So, oh my goodness, where's my other score line? Hello. Hello. I think it's because I'm scoring opposite, and that's probably why, another reason why they do what they do, other creators, with the hills and valleys idea. There we go. That is just fine. I'm not worrying about it. So there we've got our little bit of bulk. So it's going to go like this. So, oh, I love that. I adore that. So now our little paper pad is going to go here. And I'm thinking about doing it a little bit differently and just stapling the paper pad, kind of a scrappy pad right here, rather than having it be all that folded over paper. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So let me grab some of these scraps and see if we can use some of these rather than, oh, perfect. Look at that. Look at that. So let's go ahead and see what this, oh, it's too short to go that way. So I think we are going to have this be a true scrappy paper pad here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it here all the way down, or actually not all the way down. I'm going to go down to here, and then I'm going to make some of the pages a different size because then we don't waste this paper. It's not, I mean, it doesn't get wasted in theory. It gets used eventually, but this is a better way, I think, to do that. Oh, that was terrible cut. Cara-Renee. I'm just full of it today. better. And so this needs to be only this long where I made that other mark. Hope you guys can see that. And so then some of our papers will be shorter, and that is all right. We might grab some more too. I'm going to kind of stagger them a little bit. So I'm going to go like that, and like that, and like that, and that. And we might even tear some of these just to make it interesting. Like that. Okay, so I want to shake them down so that all the tops are at the top, if that makes sense. So all the bottoms are here. I love that. It's super easy to do this. And the nice thing about doing it this way is you can actually use your scraps, which is pretty nifty. So I'm going to go ahead and try to, I can paper clip. I am capable of that. There we go. So then I can go ahead and staple this in, and that is a nice little pad too. I'm wondering if I shouldn't stagger them though. That kind of looks a little bit strange. Let's try that again. Let's try again. Goodness, goodness, goodness. I just feel like I don't want them to all be so alike. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly tear these, and I'm going to tear them at different bits here. It's kind of counterproductive. But you know what I think you know what I mean. Just trying to create some irregularity here, so that those shorter papers will actually be more, they'll fit in better. You know what I mean? And I won't belabor this with you, but I probably will ink these as well at a later point. So some of them I want them to be truly almost the length that we had started with, and some of them not. So just a quick way, and again, it kind of gives you a little bit of a visual for how you can use your scraps, which is epic. Using your scraps for this is really nice. So let's see. Doesn't matter what order you put these in at all. They're just scrappy. So I think I'm going to go a little bit shorter there. Oh, I love this. I like that. I can get them. I can straighten them here in a second. I'm not doing a very good job of it. There we go. So then when you look at it, you kind of are like, oh, that's so interesting. It looks so artistic and messy and perfect, perfectly messy. I love that. Good call. So I'm going to shake them down again like that. And we're going to go ahead and again, we're going to paper clip. I'm going to paper clip them together, and then I'm going to paper clip them into our little, oh, they ended up short. Probably because I tore those ones down. That's okay. It is all right. No sweat. So we're going to bring our big arm stapler. We don't really need the big arm, but since it's here on the desk, if you're interested in one of these, it was like less than $20 on Amazon. I've had it for a while and I absolutely love it, because you can go so deep. Like, I mean, you can't even see it all. It goes clear back to here. So I have a long reach. So I'm going to go ahead and just staple. I am going to put the openings on the outside because I'm going to decorate that. So, and I'm going to go 3 over, hopefully semi-straight. Sweet. Scrappiness. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at that. Look at that. You could actually cut this down because that thing is bigger, but I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. So let's go ahead and see if we can the pocket, I don't want to do the pocket because I don't want to run into that same problem that I had with the other one. Let's see if we can do it here with the right way. So that basically means you want to make your pocket, to make the little wings on it, you want to make your pocket bigger than you need it. So I'm going to go clear out here. I'm going to go to that gray line. So I'm going to just bring this over before I forget where the line is. Short-term memory. There we go. I've never actually done this. I've heard people talk about it. I've seen people do it, but I've never done it myself. So basically what you want to do is you are going to fold this in a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that, like so. And I actually could go more than that. I'll do a little bit more. And again, because I'm working with 65-pound paper, this is a bit more challenging. If you were working with copy weight paper, it would be a cinch, but that's all right. So I'm just going to do that, and then I think you just clip this corner. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Evie is the one that suggested this, especially when I'm doing mixed media pockets, because they are very bulky, or the mixed media makes the project, the pocket or whatever, a lot thicker and less pliable. And so she suggested that I do these kind of expanded little pockets. So I'm just trying to get a sense of where I need to go here. About right there. So I'm going to fold that one over. Hopefully I can see that. Okay. This is such a rough process, you guys. Hopefully you're not laughing your heads off at me. It's hard to try new things, you know, like if you're used to doing things a certain way, it can kind of play mind games on you to think about it differently. But this does allow you to hold more into the pocket. Oh, but that's not, because now, so now I need to, I wonder how you do that. Maybe you cut the whole corner. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go with this and see what we get here. Practice makes perfect though, right? So now I think you cut the corner. So now I cut this corner. That's probably what I was supposed to do. Sometimes I don't do things the easy way. And I'm just going to cut to that corner. This part doesn't have to be perfect either because it's not going to be seen. You just are trying to eliminate this bulk here, so I'm going to trim that up there because we don't want that extra paper in there to make a problem. I think I had gone the opposite way that I was supposed to, but not bad for a first time. So that's the effect that you want, is basically you want your pocket to be able to be expanded. So I'm going to cut my thumb notch right there. So we are just about done. As I mentioned, I will decorate these and I will show you the video. I will show you the photos at the end of the video. And because the idea of this video was just to show you the construction of this pocket, of this little dealio. So I will finish up off camera and then I will show you at the end what everything looks like. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.